Hi, we're Cook Thugless, and you're listening to WRSU FM New Brunswick, home of Rutgers Radio. Bum, 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 ba-dum. Yeah, I'm on my coffee. We just just about to be noon here,
Oh, wow.
so I'm just starting the day.
Starting today. That's good. Yeah, I think it's obviously 3 here, but
Yeah. Are you in New Jersey?
yeah, I'm actually I go to Rutgers, obviously. Duh.
Sick.
But
Let's
I'm
go.
from Rutgers. Are you
What campus?
College Ave.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
The center.
So, where are you guys from in Jersey? Are you from
I'm from South Brunswick.
Oh, so you're like right there.
I mean, I live in New Brunswick right now, so I'm even more right there.
you're in the heart of Rutgers.
In the heart, yeah. He's been Rutgers boy.
We have Jerry's from Jersey. One of our vocalists is from Jersey City.
Okay.
Our producer and guitarist Jim and saxophone player Brian are both from Sparta, New Jersey, up north.
Yes.
Our bassist and drummer are from
Trenton.
Hamilton. Yeah,
Hamilton.
Oh, so it's right by Trenton. Okay.
Oh, kill me if I know.
Am I forgetting anyone?
And I'm from
Tito is from Piscataway. I'm so sorry. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Tito's got P-Way.
I'm like New Jersey. We haven't been here in a while, so it's
yeah. Didn't you guys move to California, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did everyone or just?
Well, I'm from born in Venezuela and raised in Miami, and then went to Rutgers for school.
Nice.
And I'm currently we all moved over here last year, but everyone went back when the pandemic hit with their families. But the thing is, I don't have family in New York, New Jersey. I'm not from there, so I just stayed out here.
Yeah.
For the time, felt a little bit safer.
And it's nicer too. It's like warm weather, like constantly. Over here, it's been a little iffy here and there, but nothing too
totally
crazy.
You get a lot of space. It's honestly, it's been really lucky.
Would you say your your music from like East Coast, being on the East Coast versus like West Coast and being in Cali and stuff like that has like changed what direction you guys go in? Like,
dude, obnoxiously so much so that our titles of like the last album was Lost in LA, that we just dropped California.
Like, so California, exactly.
Even like the titles, it's like I told myself, like, all right, this is the last time we're spamming like East Coast thing. Like, okay, that was it. Like we did it.
Exactly.
Now it's like, we do both. We do everything, but it's because it had a massive impact on us and was like a huge step forward with all our lives and careers. So it really
like what pop music was. They because the LA scene is very different. I mean, East Coast, New Jersey.
Absolutely.
You're in. Like you're sweating and dying in a basement, and like some like freshman is spilling a non-alcoholic beverage, of course, on your pedal boards.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's so much fun. It's DIY. It's community. It's so many things that I think everybody here loves. And then you go to Los Angeles, and it's like, cool, where's the basement show? And they're like, we don't even have basements.
They don't have basements.
Yeah, I saw that you guys performed at So Far NYC like a couple years ago. How was that? Like, I know it's like everyone comes in and they like have no idea who's performing. Like, what was the vibe like?
They're really, we've done a couple of them. We've done one NYC one. We've definitely done like 2 New Brunswick ones.
There were New Brunswick ones a couple years back. It'd be cool to bring them.
It was sweet because everyone that shows up is definitely like has an air of like, okay, we're gonna sit down and listen to this. It's like a lot more intimate. A lot of the acts that are there are to be listened to, whereas a lot of our like attack is usually to rage with everyone, but it's a different kind of scenario.
It's more chill.
More of like an active listening thing. So it switches up. But it gives us an opportunity to just like sound fresh and see how tight we actually are without needing to, put, mosh or anything. But any of those setups are really great because they connect a bunch of different artists. You meet the other bands that are performing, and then the audience is also super interactive. And like after the show, you always like end up chilling and hanging out and talking to people like
awesome.
that came to see you for a long time. And a lot of the people that have shown up or helped us set those have been like our friends. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the pun on Cook Douglas, the name. I'm sure everyone has said this to you a whole bunch of times, and I know you're probably over it, but I just love it so much. And
well, yeah, sorry to interrupt.
We condemned ourselves with that. Like,
thing coming back and talking to Rutgers people such as yourself, they're like, cool name, I get it. When you go to LA, they're like, Kirk Douglas? Like,
no, we go literally anywhere else, and they're like, what a fucking weird name. Like, what? Okay.
They're like, what does this even mean? Like,
yeah.
They're so, it could just be a pun and a pun and a pun, but you're like, it's pretty simple if you think about it.
Like,
but,
you know, our campus was called this. We got this joke, and then when we decided the name, we couldn't come up with anything else. And we were like, didn't see this lasting 8 years, so.
But I love how you stuck with it. Like, I think that's great.
We've tried to change it and have never been able to like really
stick with something.
Come to it.
The je ne sais quoi.
It just comes back to like our roots, you know, the question of like, we made this decision, we're from this place, to try and like bury that in any capacity just seems like disingenuous and also kind of against the whole reason we started doing it. So at the end of the day, you kind of just it just becomes yours, you know, like
exactly.
Some people don't choose their names. Names are given to you.
Yeah, that's so true. Except for like Elon Musk's baby. Like, I would change my name like so fast.
They actually, not to get too topical, not to get too, you know, but I think they recently changed the spelling.
The baby had a software update.
Wait,
like,
we know. Attached to the baby.
Okay, so it was X, like A, E, like Elvin or whatever, and then I think it was like
oh my god,
like Sasha or something. I don't really know, but then it had a number, but then they changed the numbers to like Roman numerals.
Or are they just trying to like be groundbreaking in like every field? Like, I don't understand. Like the naming babies field. Like, what's up? How do you pronounce the name? Do you know?
I have no idea.
I've read multiple interviews. I watched the like Joe Rogan Elon Musk interview, and he doesn't actually say the name out loud. He says how all the letters are pronounced, but he doesn't say the name out loud.
Maybe you don't pronounce it at all. Like, if you just like Prince's symbol, you know, when he would just like change his name to a symbol, something like that.
That kid's gonna have to deal with some stuff.
Like, definitely some.
Yeah, he's in a real rough spot, huh?
Dude,
absolutely.
People were barely able to pronounce my name. That kid, I'm gonna look him up. see what's good.
So, definitely like college, I feel like really shapes your ideas, beliefs, but like I feel like definitely expands your music. What, like, at that point when you're at Rutgers, did you like decide, like, what inspired you to form this group? And
so I was actually like I was in the acting conservatory with Jerry. I didn't have any musical background whatsoever. I didn't know anything about music at all. But I was living in like a Rockoff hall my second year, but I had to share a room. I was supposed to live with these people, but I didn't go through, so I had to share a room, and like things didn't go too well. As you know, it's right outside of a cemetery as well. Like, I just had like not the most tasteful situation for my liking. And Brian, who plays sax for who's in Cook, he invited me to like come sleep on his couch because I knew him from Gibbons the year prior. And he was like, you can sleep on my couch while you find like a new place, because I was trying to get another room. And so I slept on his couch. And then that house had Keith, Brian, and Jim. And then this other guy, Jeff, who helped us start the band, but then started his own band, Cold Weather Company. And these guys started just like jamming and playing and freestyle and playing music all the time. And I didn't do anything. So I also wanted to be like involved. And, you know, I just started like kind of freestyling. And started like learning that, and it kind of like opened up this thing of like, oh, you know, maybe I could try rap, that'd be cool. So they started making beats. I started like writing to the beats, and it started like it really opened up a world for me that is now what my path has been, what I've been driven in and really delved into. At the time, it was just playing around. But I really fell in love with it, and I discovered music because of it. And I would say like my music, anything started at that period. Sophomore year, Rutgers University, Cook Thugless campus, Starkey Apartments. It like that was from 0 to 1%.
Everything led you up to that moment, just to be here. That's incredible.
And the acting informs a lot of it too, because it's very performative, especially the live stuff, which is I think also what's been cool about the band is that live we like to connect with the audience a lot and have a lot of those elements. And so the mixture of those two gave it longevity enough for us to like master our craft enough for the product to be good enough to go out. And we, you know, the college is really supportive and stuff, but it was definitely a rockier start as far as like,
which is understandable.
Things take time.
There was a lot to learn, I think.
Lot to learn.
Exactly. What's your guys' favorite part about the music making process? Like, is it making lyrics, the beat, like?
Well, I think it's probably different for everyone because there's
absolutely
so many of us and we all do different things. Sometimes we cross over and sometimes we don't. But like, basically, like my favorite part is right now where we have basically finished the album that we've got. Yikes!
Nice. Exclusive.
Yeah. June 5. Let's go.
June 5th. Love that.
20, baby. Now we're in this stage where we're like, cool, like assess, like that process was cool, what went right, what went wrong, and just kind of start to hit it again, you know? This is our first full-length album with our newest member, Koi Cola.
Nice.
And he's been really, really like informative in like shaping the process of the music.
That's awesome.
First time working with putting out music while working with a producer who's not me or Jim, Earl, who is also mixing and mastering the project, doing an amazing job. But he's on Pink Pilot, he's on Mosh Pit, he's doing a lot of really cool stuff and helping inform the sound as well. And so we're just trying new workflows. And nowadays, for me, I'm very excited because of quarantine, like, which is obviously very unfortunate for everyone. We're kind of forced to explore some new workflow processes. So we started using Discord. And you can use a lot. I mean, we're on Zoom right now, or there's Discord, there's other apps, I'm sure, but
we're like sessioning over Discord.
Like have a session, like a writing session.
That's awesome.
So we're the new album that comes out after this, or whatever the project is. I don't know what the shape of it is just yet. It's very early. It will be kind of like written all online, and like I don't know who's going to be on the project, but we're definitely like collaborating with a lot of other people as well. So
I feel like a lot of artists now are taking the time to like really collaborate with like a whole bunch of people, because it's like you're stuck inside with just yourself, so you're like, I'm gonna do the most to make sure that I like, you know, expand my music and who I interact with and stuff.
Absolutely. It's actually really cool. It's like such a change and such a shift again into situation. It's kind of, I don't know, for me it's always cool when something or like a process has one very specific thing about it, and you know, the fact that something has to be done online while we're not together is like a very it's a stipulation that scared me at first, but after seeing like how much flexibility you have and how things are still possible, you know, I'm super psyched more than ever with the idea that the studio is always in my living room. I just sit down and someone's on Discord, and basically, you know, they'll be working on the instrumental and I'll hear it, and me and the other two vocalists, Koi and Jerry, we'll just like do voice note those over parts and send them in, and then build the songs like that. And then eventually in like a few weeks we'll get together. I'll fly into the mouth of the dragon and record those takes, you know, and put together whatever the next record is going to be, and just get in a loop of just, you know, release, finish, sexy music videos, all that jazz.
Yes. You guys just dropped a music video yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
So cool.
Thank you. That really encapsulated that was taken with it was actually started we have like 9 months worth of footage because we filmed our entire process in LA.
It's 13 because we started in our first trip, which was
in May.
April. I thought
April.
It was April.
Oh yeah, you're right. In April. And so we'd been collecting all this footage because I'm working on a little project, like a documentary about a bunch of the stuff. But then I was like, you know, it's all in California. It's all exactly what our thing is. This would fit well. I started doing like a 1-minute Instagram thing just to promote the song.
Yeah.
And then I sent it around, and Koi was just like, dude, you should just like make a whole music video out of this. And I was like, okay. Then I launched in, and and like just spent like a week on it, just being like, okay, how can I really use this to get that feeling across of like getting somewhere, the joy, the excitement, you're with your friends, this and that, and then slowly like the reality of a situation comes in, or like all this like, I don't know, chaos and violence and all over the place. It's just an expression of, you know, nothing specific that happens in the video that you can see, but the feelings when, you know, all these deals, all these negotiations, all these kind of betrayals and back and forth, and it was a whole lot. So I'm very happy that
so
I ended up getting that across.
What'd you say, Keith?
I said plot twist, I was the betrayer.
It's so funny. That's what it looks like in the video. I'm like doing the verse and me and Keith are having like a stare off.
You know, a little in-band tension.
There's always that in the story.
Exactly.
No, we fought through it, and it made us a lot stronger. I think a lot of other bands probably wouldn't have been able to survive something like that if they didn't have as much history as we have. We've been
in too deep.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in too deep now.
Exactly. And you got to stick with Cook Thugless. You can't change it ever.
You can't. You really can't. This is ride or die now. That's loyalty.
Exactly.
You know?
So for the new album, do you guys have any artists in particular that you drew inspiration from, or anything in particular in your lives? I know it's such a general question, but
you know what it is we all of us kind of have different tastes and opinions about music and what we listen to. But by working with each other, we've kind of met in the middle of a lot of those, but it'll mean that every member will like come with a reference or something and be like, yo, today I want to make a track like this, or today I want to make a track like this. And we all kind of bend and adapt. And instead of picking for this album, you know, we wanted the feeling of like eccentric chaos and switching of different things, like much like how it felt. So instead of trying to find something that felt like cohesive and in the same world, we were like, okay, how can we like do the opposite? I find people often do that. How can we do something that's so eclectic and just like takes you on this ride just to like crash and have the rug pulled underneath you with the next song, and then like the next song switches it up and you just kind of feel like you're a little manic throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know.
What were you gonna say, Keith?
Yeah. Oh, it's just because literally while we were out there, every day was just really different. Like we were just like the space that we were living in was very manic and hectic. Like we were living in this mansion, this influencer mansion. So a very prominent YouTube gaming channel guy who had a mansion, and our friend Anthony basically had a connection. He shoots a lot of our music videos.
Moon Culture's been involved. Koi's also a part of that same company. Like they're tight. It's the same. Yeah.
So he calls us like 3 or 4 days before we road trip out. But like, mind you, we didn't know what our housing situation was going to be at all.
Yeah, we just
driving to California aimlessly.
Nice.
And he said, "Hey," oh sorry, he has a low voice. He said, "Hey, I got my in with this guy. All you got to do is like make some content for him. You can live with him, And we're like, okay, cool. And then we show up and there's like 20 people living in this house. And it's kind of like, imagine like a frat house that's just like so extra.
Okay.
Like,
I'm sort of down for it though.
Like it's dirty and like shiny at the same time. And
okay.
Dude, it had a lot of secrets, that house. But ultimately things went really south because you know, they could only afford half the rent, so the landlord actually split the mansion in half and forced all the tenants to move to one half of the mansion, splitting up rooms with like curtains and stuff, and then they couldn't pay the electricity, so they shut the electricity off, and then we were all living in the dark, and then it just got like to
because they had Wi-Fi.
Yeah, so we had to like look for places to live.
Some of the people in the house were like, I guess, content. It was weird because it was a gaming house, so I feel like they would all freak out if the games stopped.
Yes, definitely.
But we were like trying to get work done, so we were like, I guess we gotta go to like Starbucks. Like I don't know. So we were just like,
find a cafe.
Like 8 people deep, and we were all just like busting out our laptops and like, I'll have like a coffee, and then I'll stay here for 8 hours.
Dude,
they hated us.
Oh no, man.
Definitely a whole runaround, but it was like the metaphor of like arriving to something that seemed and promised to be this thing, only to like be something completely different and to have a lot of stipulations, which I feel like is a perfect metaphor for how everything kind of runs.
Yeah.
And
here.
how the album feels. I really am hoping. I was listening back to one of the masters today that we got. We're in the final mixes now, and it's the last track on the album, and it's kind of, not to spoil anything too hard, but sure, spoilers. It's got sort of a medley of a lot of the melodies and verses and other stuff that
fucking sick, dude.
On the section before the whole rest of the album. Like I was listening to it, I'm like, this really feels like it kind of encapsulates like my whole time here.
Yeah.
And it's very rare, I think, for us to be like able to work on a project and really feel like it captures all of our experiences. But like,
and it's like all of you guys too, and it's not just like one person's like whole experience or whatever. And I feel like your guys' latest singles, like each, like California, Pink Pilot, and Mosh Pit, like, and Bad Luck, are like all its own like different vibe, different type of like style and sound, and I feel like that's amazing.
It's it's very exciting because it feels like some of the best music we put out so far.
Oh, that's awesome.
You're also those are also some of the more digestible ones, the ones we've left off for the singles that are on the album cut. Some of those are definitely very, very abrasive left field, and even more so of like a punch in the gut. You know, there's a couple in there.
So do you guys have a favorite on the album? Can you give us that song?
Mine is the last track.
Last track? Okay.
Last track, I'm Still Here. For me, it just emotionally encapsulates so much. There's voicemails from that period of time. It kind of tells that story, and I love how like it wraps everything up in like the whole message of the song into like this thing that builds into this. That's my favorite.
I like Bonkers.
Yeah, that was gonna be
Wait, you have a song called Bonkers?
Yeah.
I love that so much. I love that so much.
We called it Bonkers because we made it. We were like, dude, what is this? This is so fucking, I've never heard something like this. This is crazy.
I love that so much.
And again, like it's just the process. Like that was, I think, our first day ever. We left the mansion because we were like, dude,
we literally can't work here. I don't know. We can't make music anymore. We
started renting out Airbnbs, and our first day in our Airbnb, Jim and Coy were like, I don't know, they were like jamming out on acoustic guitar, and I nowadays I capture everything with like voice memos and voice stuff. Just anything, because it's like anything will make its way
into a song.
And I was playing around with this like acoustic guitar thing, and I like slowed it down a bunch, and it was like, it had this creepy, crazy feeling, and that just kind of turned into like one of the craziest instrumentals I feel like I've ever made. And I give it to these amazing vocalists who, I don't know how they take something like, you'll hear it in, a week and a half, and I don't know. They killed it. They did a really good job. So I'm excited.
That's amazing. That's so exciting. So after all quarantine is over, I guess, what are your goals for the band and what you guys are gonna do?
We were on our way to tour. We were like really hyped about like doing like a US tour, like a whole thing. We had places planned. We were gonna do this whole big thing, Jersey, New Brunswick, Rutgers, come back, rah rah, push this album that we were really excited to play live and everything. And obviously all that got cut ultra short. So I think, everyone kind of feels like once we're able to again, as we will like do live streams and this and that, but returning to that, we've never really done a proper tour before. So that for us is a huge, is something that I think I speak for everyone when we all really want to accomplish that. So right now it's really building up. These new songs have given us more momentum than we've ever had. It's tripled our listenership. So we're just trying to keep that momentum going so that there's a demand when things come back and we can just go and play, because the making the music is incredible, but there's nothing like connecting with people about it once you've made it, doing a live show and then like connecting with people and like that experience. That's the thing that you carry with you that makes that that bond. So that for me on my end is what I'm excited about, and I'm just super psyched that we got a process to continue kind of unlock a little bit.
I'm very excited about the new music prospects, and now kind of having some space from like making this album that's about to come out and starting this new process. And I've been thinking a lot about like how much that we have to do to make this whole project kind of hit in a way that at least that I know I want it to. Like I want to be able to reach so many people, and I want the production value to like just keep going up. Like not I want to I want to do this full time, you know, and I want this to be able to I don't know. I'm just so excited. I have so many ideas, and I think everyone's kind of really hyped about the possibilities and just kind of continuing to expand this thing and saying like pushing our limits of what we can create. I mean, we've been doing music videos for so long now, and like I want to open up to streaming, like live streaming a lot, because I've been really enjoying watching live streams from like creators.
Where the future's at too, you know.
Definitely.
It's so clearly the path.
Yeah. And much no, it's okay. It's all love. Much like going to shows and enjoying these moments that you have with like people who are making music and people who are like just, you know, you're just vibing out, and like streaming is one great way to do that, and making albums and putting them out is one great way to do that. And it's kind of like all these ways that we're finding connect us with people, and I think that's everyone's looking for that in quarantine. And so hopefully we can find something in this time to help with that.
Well, also that's where the world's going. We're all evolving to this degree. We have to, you know, you either figure out newer ways to do the same things, or you just sit and wait for them to go back to normal, which frankly they're probably not, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure everything will be so much gratifying when this is all over and you are able to, you know, I mean, hopefully people will be able to tour again, all that, and you guys are gonna have so much more ideas for new
and obviously, you know, by like 2021, like I showed, things will be open. Again, it's just gonna take some time. But in the meantime, so many new forms of doing things are going to be invented. Like we would have never in a million years, had it not been for this quarantine, been on Discord making music online. We just wouldn't have had any necessity to like think about it. I would have just put all the chips towards like meeting up.
That's crazy too, because it's like we've been, you know, the first couple of years we were like working together a lot in the room, but I don't know, maybe from like money and Lux, we were really working remotely a lot, and we never thought ever in our whole lives about like a process like this, which is insane to me. That it like every day, it's crazy to think like it's forced us to explore other options, and I'm so glad about that.
Well, thank you so much for talking with me today. It has been an absolute honor. I'm so excited
thank you
for
having
album.
us.
Yes,
that's so sick.